Hi, everybody. My name is Jan. I'm with the Fairy and Human Relations Congress and the Gaian Congress. And every third Saturday of the month, we have a workshop. And I am delighted to have Camilla Blossom here. That is on February 21st. I'll give you all the details will be in the description here. But she is doing something really remarkable. And the title of the workshop is Oak Tree Fairy Realm Journey. And then when I'm reading through the description here, Camilla, you've been doing fairy work for a long time and plant work and shamanic work. This is really reclaiming your Fae Soul lineage. This is doing lineage work, ancestor work, and doing soul integration work. Like a lot of us with the Fairy Congress, a lot of the people who show up to these workshops, they have fairy star. They're connected with the Fae, and that hasn't really gotten integrated. Like we have this pop culture that's like fairies, and we've kind of gotten inundated with this cutesiness, and we've lost really the power and the integration. Um, Camilla, could you introduce yourself and say a little bit about your upcoming workshop? I'm really excited about this. I get really tingly and getting chills.
I'd be happy to, Jan. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm Camilla Blossom and been on the fairy shamanism path for probably 35 years, and I'm sure many lifetimes as a hybrid person who really relates to the idea, which probably a lot of you do, of not just being human, but having elemental, fae, she, dragon, different aspects of our being, as well as, star seeds, part of the ancient earth keeper wisdom keepers of Gaia. So a lot of my path has been to be apprenticed over the years with the elementals in order to remember like who I am. And right now I'm seeing a lot of us like our soul roles are expanding and anchoring and needing to be embodied even more. And it's layers. I know all of us are going through layers of, opening to remember this part of us that is elemental, part of us that knows the fairy realms. But we've also gone through a lot of the trauma and the programming and things that have dampened that. And I see that even in working in the elemental community, the elementals have been dampened, oppressed, and such as well. And so, um, yeah, so this workshop, I'm really getting not just to share like information. I tend to not be that kind of a teacher. I like to give people like direct experiences by going on journeys, meditations, guided experiences to go within and connect with their own lineages, connect with the fairy realms. And so this specific journey, I know I shared with Jan before of going into the oak tree with Merlin, Danu, the Faerie Queen, um, Pan, and the fairy realms, and doing this kind of special journey of going in the realms in order to find what we need to be aware of at this time. And for some of us, there might be, like we were talking about, like a real soul retrieval. There might be things in the fairy realm, like tools or aspects of ourselves or things that were shut down that may be held. And this has been something I've noticed mentoring a lot of people or doing healing work with them is I'm often have people like us that are missing something, or something's being held in the fairy realm, or some awareness hasn't been ready to integrate again and be embodied. But now is the time to do more of that. And so this is an opportunity to connect with any of those places within that want to remember, that want to kind of come back online, be reclaimed and embodied.
This is so exciting. I'm sitting here getting chills, like slightly embarrassed because I'm like,
I
but
know.
I feel like we're gonna have a part two of this. Um, we're gonna have some. This is this is going to turn into a
Oh,
series. I can feel that because
okay.
all
Yeah.
the people are needing it, and not just needing it, but we need to show up in our humanity and our the gifts that we bring in when we touch down on this planet. And what are those parts for those of us who are fae or fairies?
Yeah.
There's a lot of power there. There's a lot of brilliance, and when we can bring those parts back and integrate them, we're going to show up with just a lot more exuberance and a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm
And
searching for new words here.
And to
Um,
add to that, it just to know like there's a lot of people that I work with that don't really have access to the understanding that they are part fae or gnome-like or elemental. And so even if you don't identify as like, I still feel like a human and I'm part of it. It still is an opportunity to kind of get more in touch with what is your relationship like with Mother Earth, with Gaia. Like that's the most important relationship we have on the planet right now that we all need to pay attention to, right? It's the new Earth energy. It's who is needing the attention. So, what is our relationship with the earth? And then, of course, through that is all these elemental beings, is the fairies, is the trees, the plants, the crystals and water. So it's really looking at those core relationships we have. And that's like what I'm really big on is helping us have direct experiences to open our relationships, whatever they are, right? Because we're all different. It may not
mhm.
look it won't look the same as, you're in relationship with a lot of different beings than I am. I know you have a lot of Sasquatch and Bigfoot, and I work with them some, but we all have kind of specialties too that maybe we can connect with that we didn't know about or we want to enhance. Yeah.
This sounds. I'm excited. Um, so, folks, you can get individual tickets, $35 tickets. Go to the description. We're also this is the first. So we have the Gaian Congress in January. We have Camilla in February. And we have a whole series set up, and we're in the process of setting those up with how do we work with Earth intelligences, um, manifestation, moments of um, interaction, how that changes you. Working with ancestral lineage healing. We're going to be working with geomancy, sacred geography. We're going to be working with plants. You can get the whole series, $125 for 11 workshops. That's a streaming deal. All that information is um, in the description. Camilla, thank you so much. And as I said, a lot of times with the Fairy Congress, we start off with one workshop. It's so successful, and we can see that it needs to be a part two and a part three. And I think we're going to be doing that with Camilla. I'm actually surprised we haven't done it before. So thank you so much. See you
Thank you, Jan.
on the 21st. Stop.